And the walk is going to take between an hour and a half. It depends on how fast you walk, okay? Does anybody have any problem? We're going to be going up a hill because we're in a valley here. But I'll take it slowly, okay? First, where are you all from?
Winchester.
Winchester,
Staines.
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Brentford.
Brentford.
Cologne, Germany.
Oh, wow. Spain, España. Buenos días. Yo no hablo bien español, yo hablo portugués. Okay, right. We are standing here in what used to be a monastery, a nunna minster. It's where it was actually for ladies. It was a convent for ladies. And I shall show you, just to give you an idea, I'll come all the way round, what the building used to look like, and it would be in this direction. And there you are. You'd like to have a look? Okay, to give you an idea. Okay, just shows to be all down here, so it's quite big. It was an abbey. All right. Okay. And this was called Nunna Minster, or St. Mary's Abbey, and it was founded by the wife of King Alfred, Queen Aylesworth. When he died, it was very common practice in those days for queens to form a convent or retire to a religious house, and this is what she did. And she founded this, and this building stood here until our friend King Henry VIII. Now, for the benefit of our foreign visitors, do you know who King Henry VIII was? Do you know who King Henry VIII was? He married a Spanish lady, Catherine of Aragon, wanted to divorce her because she couldn't give him a son, and the Pope wouldn't allow him, so he says, right, I shall found my own church and I will, you know, do what I like, and married out the moon. Anyway, so the Queen Aylesworth, she founded this, and she reigned, and as I said, the abbey stayed here until King Henry VIII, when it was demolished. And then what happened? A very rich merchant came and he built that house over there. It's a Georgian house. It was built in about the 1750s. And he also built behind you the temple. And the temple actually is just a pure disguise because it hides a mill behind it. He thought the mill looked too ugly, so he wanted to make it beautiful. And this is what happened. Now, I've just given you an idea of where we're standing, but I'll now tell you a little bit about the history of Winchester. We're actually, the place where we're standing now, had you come before the Romans came here, you would be standing in a swamp. It would have been very marshy, very wet. You will notice there are a lot of rivers and brooks all the way round. We have the River Itchen, which I shall take you very shortly to go and have a look at. And the Romans, by the way, when they came here in AD 43, they moved the River Itchen. It was two tributaries, and they built a special channel, and they moved it to where it is today. So the where it flows is what the Romans did. Winchester was a walled city built by the Romans, and you will see some parts of the wall. And in fact, they had 6 gates altogether, of which 2 survive. You're going to be going through one of them. And we're in a valley. Up there is a hill. That would have been, there's a hill called St. Catherine's Hill, of which there was an Iron Age hill fort. This is about 700 BC. And over there on the other direction is West Hill, and we've still got the one of the 2 remaining gates up there, which you will see later. It's called West Gate. All right. Now, the reason that we have a city here, because where the river is, was a place that they could ford, so they could come across before a bridge was built. And the bridge was built by a bishop called Bishop Swithin, who later became Saint Swithin, the patron saint of Winchester. And there's a rather lovely story about the bridge. When it was being built, he went to have a look at it being built, and an old lady came across it, and she was carrying a basket of eggs. And as she came, she'd just been to the market, she dropped her basket, and all the eggs broke. It is said that he picked them up and restored them to her hole. Okay, so he performed a miracle, and hence he became a saint. And if you go into Winchester Cathedral, they do have the place where his shrine was. His bones disappeared because during the time of our friend King Henry VIII, the Reformation, a lot of his commissioners destroyed a lot of things in the cathedral, inside the cathedral. We also had a civil war in the middle of the 1600s, where again a lot of destruction occurred. So I'm afraid St. Swithin's bones have disappeared. But where you see the shrine, they have put an iron, what they call a catafalque, and if you look very carefully, you're going to see it's decorated with broken eggs. Okay. Now, about this wonderful gentleman here, that's King Alfred. He is the king, the only king in the royal family to be called, or the royal history of the royal family to be called great. And the reason that he was called great is that he made the peace with the Danes. We were being constantly invaded by Danes and Vikings, and he won a battle, a final battle, and he made the peace with them, and he even managed to convert the Danish king to Christianity. So, and he was a reign of peace. He reigned over the kingdom of Wessex. We're now in Wessex. His kingdom would have extended roughly from here, we're in the county of Hampshire, all the way down to Devon, okay, which is in southwest England. So it was a large kingdom, it was the kingdom of Wessex. And not only did he do that, he also founded a series of military forts, which he called burhs, whereby they could march within one day to each other, and he installed a family in each of these, and thereby he was the beginning of the British Army. And he also founded the first Navy. And he did, and not only that, he translated a lot of books from Latin into English. So he did an awful lot of things. He is standing with his sword raised because it's a sign of Christianity. He's looking up the High Street, and incidentally, this is it is the oldest high street in England. When you walk along it, you can think that you're walking in the footsteps of the Romans and the Saxons and the Normans. And he's facing up west, and the statue is made of bronze. It was made by a gentleman called Hamo Thornycroft, and it's standing on 2 pillars of Cornish granite. It was inaugurated in 1901, 1,000 years after the death of Alfred, except they now have discovered they were 2 years out of date. He actually died in 899. Incidentally, he never expected to be king. He was the youngest of 5 brothers, but they all died in the various battles, and then hence he became king. He died in 899. All right, I'm now going to take you on a walk, and I'm just going to show you the river.